kidding? Just one shot?
They're not all zombies, Doug. How do you fight this thing?
Maybe we could drown it in A1 sauce.
Well, sometimes that is better. The person you put up there ain't the person that comes back.
It's a dance song to get down with. About 6 feet under. Get there.
Ooh, I love this song.
And now we come to the thrilling final episode of our radio drama.
Hello and welcome to episode 231 of the Rotten Views podcast. It's been a couple weeks since I've done that intro. Sadly, I don't know if it's the winter blues or what it is, but I just did not have it in me last week to put out an episode. And I don't want to put out an episode if I'm not really feeling it. So that's why it's been 2 weeks since the last episode. And I want to do this movie justice. I want to watch it and actually enjoy it. So that's why I postponed that episode until now. And we're going to do it now, of course, because we're back. I'm feeling a little bit better, just slightly a little bit better, but you know, we gotta get the job done, so that's why we're here, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this episode. I'm looking forward to having some good laughs. I think I need it and I deserve it, so hopefully this movie will achieve those, and hopefully this will be a fun episode. And thank you everyone for showing up each and every single week. It means a lot to me, and I do appreciate it. The support is amazing. And I just do this podcast for you guys because you guys enjoy it. For some reason, you like to come back each and every single week, listen to me talk about movies, and that means a lot to me. Thank you very much. But as always, let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we get into the episode at hand. Let's see if I remember how to do this. It's been a while.
Housekeeping?
No, thank you. Sleeping.
Housekeeping?
Come back in an hour.
Housekeeping, you want towels?
More towels. Need sleepy.
Housekeeping, you want mint for pillow?
Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of God.
I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, but that's besides the point. As always, make sure to follow me on all social media accounts at Typhonstein. You can find me on pretty much any social media thing, even on Blue Sky now. I posted like twice, but at least I posted. So that's something. But we're also on X, we're on Threads, we're on Instagram, Facebook. Two things that you can definitely follow are the Twitch account where I live stream. I actually took last week off for that as well. And you can also follow us on YouTube where I also took off live streaming from there as well for last week. I didn't do shit last week, to be honest with you. I worked, I came home, I did some more drawing and cleaning and all the other, adult dad stuff. Spent a lot of time with the kid. Played a lot of Fortnite, played a lot of games with her, played outside a lot. Got sick, but that's okay. We're getting better, but everything's fine. But yeah, last week was kind of recharge your batteries kind of week. So we're feeling decent this week. Still sick, but we're coming back from it all. And hopefully this week will be better and we won't miss any episodes for the following rest of the year. That's my goal and that's my game plan. And hopefully I can achieve that, but we'll see. I just don't want to burn myself out. I feel like that's kind of something that might happen every so often because I just do so damn much each week. But I'm okay with it because I like being busy because it keeps me on my own head. And that's a fun fact about me. I don't like being stuck in my own head. It's like a full-on circus up there, and then you got that monkey with the tambourine toys and just, keeps clapping and chirping and stuff, and then you got like images of Homer Simpson for no reason. It's a weird place. It's a fun place. It's a fun place. But as always, if you're listening to this on Spotify, make sure to leave a star review, okay? If you want to leave a 5-star, I appreciate it very much. You don't have to, of course. You leave a 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. I'm gonna hate you. I'm kidding. I won't hate you. I'll just put a curse on you. I'm kidding as well. I don't know anything about curses, and just rate it whatever you feel like. If you're on Apple, just leave it an Apple review. review, iTunes, whatever. I don't use that stuff, but I check the reviews every so often. If you're on Castbox, I don't know if there's a review system on there at all. I should probably look into that one of these days, but I haven't. So leave a review wherever you can, or the thing that you can do the most that helps out the podcast a lot, just hit the share button. The share button does help out a lot. So if you could just share the podcast, share the art, share the videos, I appreciate it all. It all means a lot. And also, we got some new t-shirts dropping here soon. It's just the podcast logo, but we got some tie-dye options, so that's pretty cool. I'm a man who digs the tie-dye. So we're going to be dropping those in the next couple of weeks as well. So I'll be putting the links for that in the descriptions once that is actually active. So I just wanted to get a couple copies for myself first, just to see the quality, make sure everything's good, make sure the print's good, and then we'll go from there. But we do have the promo image. You can see that on Instagram. It should be in the stories section. I'm posting that fairly often, so definitely go check out the Instagram. And yeah, we're going to get into the podcast at hand. I think I touched on all the things I need to touch on. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. It seems so weird to be sitting down to do a podcast episode with that little bit of gap, so it feels like it's something fresh and new to me, which is good. I love this feeling. It's great to be back. So we're going to be watching I'm Gonna Get You Sucka. You can watch it for free on Tubi, or you can pay to rent it on Amazon Prime or Apple TV. But if you can watch it for free on Tubi, why not watch it for free? Every little bit of savings helps. So this movie has a 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 62% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 74% on Just Watch. 79% of Google users have enjoyed this movie. Initial release date was December 14th, 1988. This movie has a runtime of 1 hour and 28 minutes. The synopsis for this one, as read from IMDb: in this parody of blaxploitation movies, a black hero wannabe reunites former black heroes from the 70s to help him get revenge on Mr. Big. So we're going to be doing some double action duties, triple action duties on this one, because you know how I always like to talk about like the director, the writer, and star. So there's one person who does all three of those roles at once, and that's Keenan Ivory Wayans. I don't know why I said it like that. I felt like saying it like that, so hopefully you'll enjoy me saying it like that. So Keenan is obviously one of the Wayans brothers. He was also the writer for 2004's White Chicks. He was the writer for 124 episodes of In Living Color. He was the writer for 2006 Little Man. Obviously, he was the writer and one of the stars and the director for this I'm Gonna Get You Sucka. I didn't know this was a thing, but he was the writer for Soul Train Comedy Awards in 1983. He also had a TV show where he was the writer for 12 episodes called The Keenan Ivory Wayans Show. I don't think I remember that show at all. Let me know if you remember it down in the comments below. I'm curious if it's good or not. It's a Wayans Brothers show, so I'm assuming it's got some pretty good laughs in it, but it only lasted 12 episodes, so we're going to jump right to the next actor in the list. We're going to be talking about Bernie Casey, who's playing John Slade in the movie. He's best known for being Mr. Ryan from 1989's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He was U.N. Jefferson in 1984's Revenge of the Nerds, which that's where I know him best for. He was Felix Leiter in 1983's Never Say Never Again, James Bond movie. Don't recall that one at all. Of course, he was John Slade in this movie. He apparently has like a lot of one-off TV episodes appearances, like in Murder, She Wrote in 1989, L.A. Law in 1989 as well. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures for one episode where he plays the TV series Vice Principal Ryan. That's a cartoon series as well. He's also in CBS School Break Special in 1992. It would just pop up in a bunch of other TV shows here and there over the years. So the final actor we're going to talk about is Antonio Fargas, who's playing the character Fly Guy, who's also best known for being Link Brown in 1974's Foxy Brown. He was the taxi driver in 1984's Firestarter. He was Bunky in 1971's Shaft. He was also in 27 episodes from 2005 to 2009 of Everybody Hates Chris, where he played Doc, Mr. Harris, and Sweet Tooth. Like I said, that's a show I used to kind of watch. I didn't pay too much attention to it. I know my parents would put it on almost like every night that was on. I would watch it here and there. It's something I should probably revisit. I think it's probably fairly decent for a TV show. Let me know down in the comments though if you like Everybody Hates Chris. The tagline for this movie is, even if you can't say it, you gotta see it. But yeah, I think that's enough about talking about the movie and the cast and whatnot. We could go into a little bit more detail with the writers and director, but it's all the same person, so we're not going to go into too much detail on that. And we're just going to get started on the movie right at hand right now. So this is going to be your only warning. I talk about the podcast, or the movie, I should say, on the podcast from start to finish and hit all the points in between that interest me. So if you don't want to be spoiled on a movie that came out before I was even born in 1988, feel free to pause it now. Go watch it for free on Tubi, unless you want to spend some money on Amazon Prime because you're silly like that. Just go watch it for free on Tubi. Come back, listen to the podcast, or just sit back, relax, listen to me talk about the movie, and I'll either make you really want to watch the movie, or you'll be like, yeah, I've wasted enough time listening to this guy talk about this movie. I don't ever want to watch it. I'm assuming it's going to be the first one, but I'll let you decide for that. If you stick around, please stick around. I appreciate it if you did. With that being said, get some snacks, get some Doritos, some Valentine's Day candy, because Valentine's Day was just actually yesterday by the time this podcast comes out. Hopefully you guys got shot in the ass by Cupid. If you did, good for you, I guess. I don't know where that joke was going, and I have nothing else to say about it. If you're listening at work though, hopefully this helps you get through the day. If you're in the car though, make sure you keep your eyes on the road. It's snowy and shit out there, and there's an actual blizzard coming this way, so make sure you keep an eye on the roads at all times, please. I don't want you ending up in a ditch upside down or in a lake somewhere, wherever. We're going to shut up now and get started on the movie at hand, though.
Presents Saturday Night at the Movies, the television series which each week brings you the finest in recent motion pictures. Tonight...
Never has a film moved so many and touched so deeply. United Artists is proud to present I Am Going to Get You Sucker, a captivating story.
Yo, baby, hold it. That ain't it. It's I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Yes.
And it's the story of the brothers fight.
Yes.
Against Mr. Big.
Yes. Well.
Let's get that sucker.
Push.
It's about action, bravery.
I'm a soldier, man. I've been trained for combat. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Romance.
12 inches.
And danger.
If y'all step on my bunny, I'll kill both of you.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Let's get that sucker.
It's the good guys against the bad guys.
Oh, how come their guns are so much bigger than ours?
It's a balance thing. I don't know.
Good girls against the bad guys.
You must got the devil in you.
And it's bad guys against the bad guys.
Now, you boys can leave either through the window or the stairs.
We gonna take the stairs. We'll take the stairs.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
You know what I mean, brother? Well, actually, I don't. I didn't grow up around blacks. Now, I grew up in the suburbs. My dad was a lawyer, my mom was a doctor, and all my friends were white. Chump.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
No.
It's got passion, pumps, rhythm, and soul.
Preach, brother!
Who are these guys? It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Don't say that.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. Even if you can't say it, you got to see it.
I got you, sucker.
Got the movie starting out. It's actually a United Artists Presents feature. I remember that logo, I guess, popping up before. I can't put a movie to it, though. I don't remember. Maybe it was like Johnny 5 or something, Short Circuit, maybe. I'm not too sure. But then we see the I'm Gonna Get You Sucka font popping up, so we got some hip-hop style music playing in the background, but it's like a graffiti font, and then like the sucker like really pops. And I actually enjoy how the intro credits and the font style and everything comes together. Being an artist and whatnot, I like when people actually take the time to make the intro of the movie, good and stylized. It's just static black with the blue spray paint font on it, but it still looks pretty good with the music playing in the background. Then we see this rainy night scene. It's nighttime. The road's all soaked and wet from, might have been a storm by the looks of it. And then we see a bunch of cop cars just speeding down the road. And there's one last cop car that's kind of taking a sweet ass time, to be honest with you. And then it's just captioned, any ghetto, USA. Doesn't matter what ghetto, it's just any ghetto. Doesn't matter at all. Then we see a bunch of white cops looking around and being like, looks like it's just a John Doe and an overdose of OG. Doesn't look like there's any more evidence around here at all. And the chief takes off the blanket off the dead guy's body. And it's this black guy who's decked out in gold and like a bunch of different items. And the one guy's like, how does he even go to the washroom with all that crap on? Well, he doesn't really have to worry about that right now because he's dead. Then we see them getting ready to wrap up the scene. And they're taking Polaroid pictures of the dead body. And they're like repositioning it. And then a couple of the cops are getting in the scene and smile and be like, cheese guys. And then we cut to a funeral where someone's getting ready to be buried. I'm assuming maybe it's the same guy. So then at this funeral ceremony, the guy giving the speech is actually John Witherspoon, best known for being the dad from the Wayans Brothers TV show. And he's saying that how it's the bureau for Junebug or something like that. And some girl's like, isn't it supposed to be someone else's funeral? He's like, no, that one was at 9 o'clock. So then everyone gets pissed off and be like, I don't want to be here. I don't know who this Junebug gold guy is. I don't care about him. So everyone just starts to leave. He's like, no, come on, guys. You gotta stay until we at least get the casket in the ground, please. And then, like, out of the whole crowd of people that was there's only 2 people left. And one of them was Junebug's mom and his wife, widow now, I guess you could say. And now it's the mom talking to the daughter and be like, once Junebug got hooked on that gold, he probably owed everybody money. So it's no wonder that he's dead because he got just hooked on everything. Then somebody's knocking at the door and they open up the door and it's Leonard, played by Damon Wayans, and his little lackey guy. They're like, we're just friends with Junebug. We're just come to see how everything's going, just to see how you guys are dealing with the death of Junebug. And it just happens to be that, Junebug died and he owed Mr. Big a lot of money and Mr. Big wants his money. So then the mom's like, we don't have $5,000. And Leonard's like, of course you don't. Look at those stupid painted on walls and the plastic seat covers. Of course you don't have no money here. So then he's like, I see something here 10 times worth of money for Mr. Big. And the ex-wife is like, well, what is it? He's like, it's you. So then the little lackey guy starts beating out the mom. So then the mom just literally knocks out the little lackey guy. And he's like, what just happened? And then the mom's like, make sure you pick up all those pillows and put them back on the couch. And Leonard's like, yeah, pick up those pillows. Make sure you puff them up and make them look nice. I don't want to get my ass kicked by this lady. So then the mom's like, so you guys got a choice. You can either take the window or take the stairs. And they're like, we'll take the stairs. So then we see the mom kicking them down the stairs. And by the time they get to the end of the stairs, we are then met by Keenan Ivory Wades, who's Jack Spade. And he's like, hi, mama. And Jack and Cheryl see each other for the first time in a long time. And they kind of get the googly eyes. And it's like, sure glad my brother's dead now. And then the mom's like, don't worry, honey. Jack, I left your room just the way you left it 10 years ago. And he's like, aw, Mom, you should have. So then he goes into his room, peeks open the door a little bit. And there's flies all over the place. Dirty clothes all over the place. And he's just like, I'm just going to take my jacket off, put my bed there. And I'm going to shut this door because I don't want to be in here. So then the mom's like having a breakdown because, Jack's like, I'm sorry I didn't make it for the funeral in time, Mom. I tried, but I could only get here so quickly. And then Cheryl's talking about how Junebug went downhill. He's like, he started hanging out with the wrong people and, dealing drugs and doing drugs. And then the really bad thing happened. And Jack's like, what? He started wearing gold. And apparently wearing gold chains is a big deal. And, once you start wearing some gold chains, you never go back. And then Jack sees a picture of Junebug, and he looks like Flava Flav, a bunch of gold chains all over the place. And the first thing out of his mouth was like, how did he go to the bathroom with all that crap on? And then we see Leonard and his little lackey guy in Mr. Big's office. And, of course, Mr. Big is played by John Vernon, of course. Best known for me personally, being the cop in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Leonard's trying to explain everything. He's like, the mom started crying. And then this big soldier dude, the big soldier dude, like big. I think he's like son or something. And he just started popping us and just started knocking us out. Mr. Big just tells him pretty much to shut up. He's like, Junebug worked under you. Your debt is his debt is your debt, and if this girl is anything that you say she is, then we'll cancel the debt. But until then, you owe me money. So then Mr. Big's like, you boys can either leave through the window or down the stairs. He's like, we'll take the stairs. We always like to take the stairs. Also, Mr. Big is petting a gold bar like it's a cat while he's sitting in his chair. Just thought that was kind of funny. So let me see Jack. He's looking at this newspaper, and it says that John Slade is going to be hosting this teen kind of little competition tournament kind of thing, rally, whatever the proper term is. I'm blanking on it right now, to be honest with you. But anyways, he makes it down to where the thing is happening, and the first contests are doing, I guess, is a bunch of black guys running with TVs on their shoulder while dogs are chasing them. And then the next one is they have a bunch of teens or younger guys, and they gotta strip down a car and see how long it takes them to do it. And then Mr. Slade is being interviewed by the skip guy. He's like, you know what? I can't step in and take care of Mr. Big. I'm retired. I gotta leave it up to the police officers to do their job. I'll help them out with the environment if they need it, but I'm leaving this is up to them because I'm retired. Slade looks a little annoyed, and then Skip's like, I grew up in the suburbs. My dad was a lawyer. My mom was a lawyer. Blah blah blah. All my friends were white. I only knew how to do this one white boy dance move. I didn't know how to speak jive. And he's like, I understand you are annoyed at me now, so I'm just gonna sign off now. So then Jack goes to talk to Slade in his little tent area. He's like, here's a Polaroid. Do you remember this lady? He's like, yeah, I remember her. That was hot chocolate. And he starts talking about her and going on about her. And Jack's smiling about it at first, and then his expression goes away. He's like, that's my mother, man. Stop talking about her like that. So then Jack shows Slade a picture of Junebug. He's like, how the hell does he go to the bathroom with all that goddamn shit on? The recurring joke, of course. So then Jack gives John Slade a piece of gold. He's like, you see this stuff, this gold? You know what that's doing to the kids on the street? He's like, yeah, I see it every day. These kids are going around getting addicted to this gold. They're killing for this gold. They got it all around their necks. They got all necklaces and earrings and all this funky shit. I see what's going on with all this gold. This gold's addiction. Jack's like, I need you to help me go up against Mr. Big to get rid of this gold. The people need your help. He's like, the people thought I was too violent. They thought I wasn't a good role model for these kids. So fuck the people. And Jack's just walking down the street, looks sorry, he sees this building that's got newspaper all throughout the window, and it's just like black revolutionary headquarters. He's like, might as well go in. What's worse is gonna happen? So then he sits down with this leader guy to discuss things and what he needs help with. And the guy's like, can I get you like a drink, some alcohol, whatever? He's like, a soda's fine. And he gives him a bean soda, and Jack takes a sip of it. And he's like, oh shit, this is horrible. He's like, it's acquired taste, to be honest with you. And Jack's wondering where all the revolutionary soldiers are. And he's like, well, to be honest with you, they went down to that big office building to like kind of take it over, but then at the same day they were going down to take it over, they're actually hiring people, and they all got jobs, and now they work at the building. And then this revolutionary guy has a white girlfriend, and he's got two little white kids, and the one girl is a daughter, of course, but it's the girl from Jurassic Park. I don't know the name of the kid at all, but yeah, it's the same kid from Jurassic Park. Also, the guy calls his son Whitey. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not going to go any farther into details about that. But it's a parody movie, so what do you expect? So then we see Jack sitting down in this little diner where Cheryl works. He's like, I was just seeing if you were done work soon. I was going to take you home. And she's like, I was just waiting for Mom actually to come pick me up, but I'll go give her a call, let her know. And then as she goes to call their mother-in-law, these two henchmen guys, I think one's Slammer, and I forget the other guy's name. He's like, you Jack Spade? I got some issues with you, Mr. Big. And then Jack's getting ready to fight these two henchmen guys. He takes off his jacket and everything. And then the mom comes in, does a bunch of cartwheels, and knocks both of them guys out. And they're just like, how'd you do that? And then Jack's like, Mom, you didn't have to do that. That was my fight. I wanted to fight him. And then back at the apartment, Jack's like, Mom, I'm a big boy. I'm an adult now. I don't need your help to fight these battles. I'm a big boy. I can do it myself. The mom's like, I remember when you were a little boy and you were yelling for your mama because the midgets wanted to kick your butt because you didn't want to give them your lunch money. So then we see Jack in the room. He's putting on his holsters and stuff. And Cheryl's like, why do you got a gun? He's like, I'm in the army, don't you remember? And I'm going to shoot Mr. Big if he comes at me. If I see those little midgets, I'm going to shoot them too because they caused me a lot of trauma. Then we see Jack out on the sidewalk and Slade's there. He's like, what are you doing, Jack? You're going to go get yourself killed. You go after Mr. Big. He's like, I'm a trained soldier. I can handle myself when a gunfight. So then these guys start shooting at them from the roof across the street. So then Jack just starts running around screaming. He's like, they're shooting at me. They're shooting at me. And Slade's like, you gotta get down, dumbass. Get behind the car and take cover, idiot. And there's this white couple, and the guy gets shot. And they're like, hey, how's your husband? Or how's your boyfriend? And she's like, he's dead. Can't you hear the sad music popping up? And then she starts, searching his pockets, and they're like, Miss, what are you doing? She's like, I waited 12 years for this ring. I'm going to take it out of his pocket now, and I'm going to keep it for myself or sell it. And of course, it's Leonard and his little lackey there shooting at them, and Slade and Jack get on that side of the building, and they start going up the stairways on both sides. And Leonard's like, go cover the door. They're coming up. They're going to kick our ass. They're coming up the... We gotta go get cover or something. Then Slade starts shooting at Leonard and his little lackey guy, and they start freaking out, being like, oh, the people are shooting at us, people are shooting at us. And then Spade's able to jump down and tackle them both, and they pin them up against the wall to, start questioning them. So then Slade starts questioning Leonard and his little lackey, and be like, so why are you after him? Well, Mr. Big wants Spade killed because he's sticking his nose into things that his nose shouldn't be stuck into. And Slade's like, you're lucky you got me on a good day. I'm gonna let you go. So then the lackey's like, hey, why are you gonna let us go when we were just over there trying to shoot you? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. You just got me on a good day. So either you guys can go over the side. And Leonard's like, no, we got the stairs. Trust me, we've been over this a few times. We'll take the stairs down, don't worry. And we see Slade and Spade going into this little dance club bar area, and they sit down at the bar. And Slade's like, I want to see One Eye Sam. And the bartender's like, you ain't selling any weird products, are you, or anything? He's like, he's not here. He's like, just tell him John Slade's here. He'll show up. Get him on the phone. He'll show up. So then as they're sitting down at this special table, because the bartender's like, I'm sorry, Slade, I didn't know it was actually you. I didn't know anything about it. Drinks on us. Don't worry about One Eye Sam. Be over here in a bit. And Spade orders a Pepsi, and Slade's like, you got something you gotta learn about being a hero. When's the last time you've been laid? Why are you drinking a Pepsi of all things? He's like, well, Slade, I'm Jack Spade. I'm just I'm waiting for the right lady to come back at some point in time, and I like Pepsi. So this girl Cherry sits down and starts talking to Jack, and she's like, what's your name? He's like, Jack. He's like, that's a really strong, handsome man, man name. I'm looking for a man that's got, the right thing, the right 12 inches for me. And Jack just crushes his Pepsi, being like, I guess, maybe, I don't know. And then she's like, I got a place around the side. Maybe we can go there. He's like, nah, I can't. I got business here with Slade and stuff, we got some business to do. And Slade's like, I got all the time in the world. You guys go do what you want to do. And then they're in the room together, and Cherry's really wanting the 12. He's like, yeah, 12. Yeah, about that. About the 12. It depends on how you measure it. And it depends on the angle and everything. I really don't have 12. So then Jack's like, I hope you're not mad that I lied about the size. And Cherry's like, I got some stuff to give up too. My eyes aren't really green. And then she throws her wig off, and Jack starts freaking out. And then she takes off her fake bra, and he's like, hi, I'm glad we're being so honest with each other. And also she takes out her butt implants as well. And Jack's like, I'm gonna grab my jacket and go get some fresh air. So then Jack makes his way back to Slade, and Slade's like, well, why was that so bad? He's like, it was unbelievable. I don't want to talk about it ever again, so please don't ever ask about it ever again, because I'm never going to talk about it ever again. And then they finally meet One-Eyed Sam, and they go to this room together, and Slade's like, hey, this is Jack. He's some young blood. He's going after Mr. Big. We all gotta work together, right? So then they start joking about things, and how One-Eyed Sam had an office job in the military, because that's what Jack has as well. And then Jack's like, how'd you lose your eye? He's like, oh, we're just playing around in the office, and some jackass shot me, and I have a paperclip. Jack makes it back to the mom's apartment with the guns in his, army bag. And then Cheryl's like, I was worried about you, Jack. I'm glad you came home safe. I cleaned your room for you. You want to sit together on the bed? And then we find out there's a weird connection between the two of them, because it seems like Jack left to go to the military to prove to Cheryl that he's a real man's man. And apparently Cheryl's like, I only went out with Junebug because I want to be reminded of you. So I want to be as close to you as possible. So that's why I figured I bang your brother. Then we have a flashback to them in disco attire, and they're dancing. And every time they go to do a different move, they're hitting someone else in the crowd. We see people getting kicked in the face, kicked in the crotch, headbutted, punched in the face. And to the point where pretty much everyone on the dance floor is on the ground because they got hit by Jack and Cheryl doing their little disco dance. And then out of nowhere, we see a very young Chris Rock walking into a restaurant, and where this guy's hitting flies with a wiper and stepping on them. He's like, how much for an order of ribs? And he's like, $250. $250. Oh, wow. I don't know about that. So then Chris, instead of ordering one rack of ribs, he just wants one single rib to go. Also, I could be wrong. I haven't looked it up. But the guy who's running the little restaurant, he sounds like he's the voice actor for Chef from South Park. We find out that guy's name is actual Hammer, and upon looking it up, he's actual music artist, but he's also, like I said, he actually is Chef from the South Park series. He's also Duke from 1981's Escape from New York, as well as the composer for 1971's Shaft. Interesting. But Slade's there now, they're best buddies, or they used to be good buddies, and Slade's like, you guys want to update your image? You want to join like a revolution? Do some fighting against Mr. Big? So then Hammer and Slammer, that's the two guys that worked at the restaurant, are like, yeah, sure, we'll join you, Slade. It sure has been a long time since I murdered somebody. And then we see Slade going to jail to talk to Fly Guy, and Fly Guy says, yeah, I'm hanging, I'm doing fine, I'm just doing fine. He's like, you want to, join me in a good fight against Mr. Big, even though you're in jail right now at this point in time? Fly Guy originally says no, because he's like, I've been out of the game for too long, I don't want to do it, I can't do it. And Slade's like, no, you've only been out because, Mr. Big has you in here rotting. You used to be the man back in the day, don't you remember? And then we have flashback to Fly Guy as he's reminiscing of winning Pimp of the Year, because apparently that was like the Mr. Olympia contest where we see Fly Guy in this pink pimp suit, and he's the main pimp. Fly Guy's like, you know what, I'll help you out, but you gotta promise me when I get out, I'm gonna take back everything that was mine, and I don't want you guys hassling me once the Pimp of the Year comes back to do his pimp work. And Slade's like, I got no problem with you do your thing, man. Then we see Hammer and Slammer in the car, and Hammer's the chef guy from South Park, and he starts singing, and then Slammer just turns off the radio. He's like, do you really have to sing? I just told you my feet have been hurting because I've been on them all day, and you don't even care. You're just singing along to your crappy music. So then we see Slade coming out of his building. He's dressed in the full black attire, black pants, black jacket, black gloves, and he's got the jazz band following behind him as he's walking down the street. And then we see these big high top shoes that have fish bowls inside them. It's a full on yellow pimp attire suit, like full on pimp, and it's Fly Guy. So I don't know why I said Flyboy. That's zombies. Fly Guy in his full yellow pimp attire, ready to kick some ass. And he's walking down the street, and he's actually got goldfish inside his shoes, and a couple girls like, oh, he must be a rock star. He's got fish inside his shoes. And everyone starts laughing at him because, the pimp game's changed a lot since last time he was out. And then one of his shoes breaks, so now there's, dead fish on the sidewalk, and one person's like, hey, you been shopping at the Goodwill? What's going on there, homie? So then Slade stops at Jack's place to pick up Jack and the guns, and then Jack's like, yeah, they're all clean, but who's these guys? He's like, that's my theme music. Every good guy's gotta have a theme music group of people that follow him around everywhere they go. So then Slade and Spade go to meet up with Hammer and Slammer, and Hammer's questioning Slade, being like, you ever kill a man? You ever rip him apart? You ever cut off his balls and make him squeal like a pig? And Slammer's like, Hammer, you gotta calm down, bud. You gotta calm down. He's new blood. You gotta relax a little bit, okay? So then Slammer's like, what makes you think you can be a hero? And Spade's like, I'm a ex-football player. And Slammer's just like, all right, I guess that works. So then the group of them go to this restaurant area, and the guy at the front is like, excuse me guys, you can't come in here. You gotta have big hats. You gotta have big hats to get in here. And they all have oversized hats for some reason. So the guys all go in there, they start shooting up the ceiling, and they get everyone's attention. It's like, all right guys, everyone, put your hands up. Put all the gold on the table. We're going to be taking the gold away from you guys. We're taking the gold off of the street all together. And of course, Spade, he's looking around in the room, and that's when he sees one of the Evans midget twins, dwarfs, whatever they call them, and he just starts wailing on him, being like, I didn't forget. So then Slade has to pull him up, be like, come on, that's not the time for this. Not the time for this. So then they start going to room, like busting down in these doors, and all these people start running out, probably like a brothel of some sort. And at the end, one lady runs out with nothing covering her tops, and she's screaming as she's running down the stairs, and Jack decides to scream and starts chasing after it. So then Slade's like, no, you're coming with me. You're not chasing after the girl with the big boobs. So we see Cheryl leaving the diner. She's heading home. And then Leonard starts coming after her. He's got like a cast on one leg. He's got a neck brace on. So for some reason, Cheryl just stops walking and turns around and confronts him. And then she turns into like this demon-looking creature and just starts throwing him up against the wall and starts beating him up. And then that little lackey guy comes up behind her and hits her in the back of the head with his cast, and she gets like knocked out. And I don't know what the whole point of that scene was, but she looked like she was from like a horror movie. Like her hair got all frizzy, her eyes got all big, like she was turning into a demon. And we see we're in Mr. Big's office. He's very upset because, they went around destroying some jewelry shops around town. They were throwing dynamite into it earlier, Slammer and Hammer were. And Mr. Big's like, these bastards hit me, and I'm not going to stand for this. I'm going to make sure they pay for it. And we see Leonard and his little lackey inside the office, but we also see Cheryl in there as well. And she's gagged and tied to a chair. And then he calls Lieutenant Baker. He's like, I'm not going to stand for this crap, Lieutenant. We got to find the guys who did this to me, and we gotta make them pay. And we see two cops going to pull over Kung Fu Joe, and they try to plant some drugs on him. He's like, so I see how it's gonna be. You're gonna try and screw me over, huh? And then he just starts kicking the shit out of the two cops. So then a bunch of other cop cars show up, and he's like, I'm going to kick some ass now. As he just stands in the middle of the street, as like 8 more cop cars show up, and he's like, alright, I guess I'll kick all the guys' asses then. Then we see Hammer and Slammer in like this underground parking garage area, and then 2 of Mr. Big's guys like corner them and start shooting at them, and then Hammer and Slammer start shooting back, and the guy's like, hey, why is their gun so much bigger than ours? This is not fair. And then Hammer confronts one of the guys, and it's a white guy. He's like, hey man, I don't know that karate. And Hammer's like, no, neither do I. You want to like fake karate fight with each other? And they're like kicking their feet up in the air, and they're missing each other, and not even getting close to each other. So then we see Kung Fu Joe walking down the street to get to a payphone. His attire is completely ripped up. He's bleeding all over the place, and he's had a pretty rough time kicking the shit out of all those cops. And then we see Mr. Big with Cheryl, and he's like, you're gonna be my moneymaker. And then next thing we know, we see Slade and the guys are all getting ready, putting on all their military gear, grabbing all their guns, loading up some sandwiches into a bag in case they get hungry while they're kicking some ass, because you always need to have a good sandwich on hand at all point in times in case you get a little bit of the munchies while you're killing some guys. We see Hammer loading up all these guns into various pockets all over the place, and then Slammer's like, you got enough? You sure you got enough? He's like, you can never have enough. And then as they're leaving the building where they got loaded up, Hammer slips on something, falls on his ass, and all the guns just start shooting all over the place. And they're like, Hammer, you okay? You okay, bud? I see bullet holes all over you because you're holding like 8 guns on you, and they all apparently went off at once somehow. We see Slade going over the plan. He's like, all right, Spade, you're gonna go through the window. Slammer, you're gonna go through the door. He's like, hey, why don't I get to go through the window? I never get to go through the window anymore. He's like, fine. If you really want to, you go through the window. Spade, you go through the door, and hopefully if everything goes right, we will still survive this and not die. We see Slade at the top of this building. He's getting ready to do some dynamite, and as he's getting ready to set it down, he's got it on him as he's rappelling down the side of this building on the rope, and then he keeps jumping, and then we just see an explosion, and then the rope is empty. And then Spade's like, hey, Slade, come in. You there, Slade? Slade, buddy? Slade? And Slammer jumps through the window, falls face first down on the ground. He's a little bit confused. Spade breaks through the door with his gun. He's like, nobody move! And everyone's looking around confused, being like, what the fuck is going on here? So then Spade starts helping Slammer up and dusts him off, being like, you alright? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just a little bit rusty. It's been a little while. I'm a little bit old. And then a gunfight starts to ensue. And then we see Slammer down on the ground. He's like, they shot me in my bunion. And they look down at his foot, and it's just like one giant big ass toe just throbbing with no shoe on, or the exploding out of the shoe. He's like, I can't go on, man. You gotta do the rest by yourself. And then Spade thinks Slade is coming in to rescue him. And of course, it's his mom with a shotgun. He's like, Mama, I told you don't need to come rescue me anymore. I'm on fights. And we see Spade in this gunfight. He locks his mom into like a freezer room so she can't get out. And there's like debris going all over the place. And at some point in time, Spade gets a sliver in his finger. So he lights a match and puts a needle and warms up the needle to get the sliver out. And he acts like it's the biggest, war pain he's ever had to deal with in his life. So then Spade breaks into the room where Cheryl's tied up. He takes out the one henchman and he goes to untie Cheryl. He's like, oh, don't worry about my finger. It's okay. It hurt a little bit, but it's okay. I got it. And then Leonard comes in and pulls the gun on Spade. He's like, all right, you're gonna get caught now, sucker. And then out of nowhere, Flyboy comes in with his new pimp suit and holds his little micro gun up against Leonard and takes the gun away from Leonard. And then, of course, Mr. Big comes in behind Flyboy. He's like, nobody move or I'm going to shoot the girl first, all right? And then Jack is seeing Mr. Big for the first time. He's like, I thought you were, not white. And then Mr. Big's like, oh, you thought I was above being a black exploitation villain? You thought wrong. And then out of nowhere, Slade walks in his full blown up attire, still smoking. Be like, not so far, Mr. Big. I still got it. And he shoots him. And then it looks like Mr. Big's dead with one gunshot. And they're looking at Leonard and be like, what are we going to do with him? And Slade's like, we'll let him go. He's like, I'll go straight. Trust me. Yeah, I'll be fine. I won't do any more crime stuff. And then Spade's like, there's two ways out. He's like, damn it. I'm just going to jump out the window this time because I'm not going down the stairs again. And then it's like the end of the movie. And the mama comes out. He's like, Jack, Spade, you're going to have to explain to me how you locked me in that closet. How can you get away with locking me in that closet? I spent 36 hours in labor trying to bring you out of me. And then some guys come up to see Jack. And Slade's like, who are these guys? He's like, BDP or something, I think he calls them. He's like, those are my theme music guys. Every good guy's got to have some theme music guys that follow him around in a movie. And that's the end of the movie. The outro credits start to roll. And I gotta say that was a good movie. I liked it. I'm glad I watched this one. I like the Wayans brothers a lot. And I thought it was a very fun movie. It's got a really good cast. It's got a lot of star-studded actual people in it that aren't in it for super long times, but they're in it nonetheless. And for this one, on the Rotten scale of 10, I'm getting a solid 7.5. I thought it was fun. I would definitely watch it again, and just for the sake of watching it, just enjoy it or have it on for background noise. So I definitely recommend checking it out. Alright, so we're at that point in time where we gotta pick what we're going to be watching next week. Next week we're going to be watching another first time watch for us. We're going to watch a movie from 1996 called Space Truckers. It's an hour and 37-minute runtime sci-fi movie, and you can watch it for free on Tubi, so definitely go check it out there if you want to watch it beforehand. And as always, thank you everyone for showing up to the podcast. As always, make sure to check out the outro band, Toronto-based horror band Blood Opera. All their links are down below, but the main thing you can find them on is Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, all those main social media things. But definitely go check them out on Spotify. I like their music. Sure, it's probably on Amazon Music as well. I don't know. I don't use it, so definitely Spotify though. Definitely can find them on there. Follow them. That way you get notified every time they post some new music.
And as always, make sure to check me out on all social media accounts at Typhonstein. You can find me on X. You can find me on Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram. We have the Twitch channel. Definitely go check out the Twitch channel. Go follow it. That way you get live streams. I do live streams. I'm blanking on my words. Also check out the YouTube channel where we post old episodes of the podcast. We have weekly gaming videos that drop every single Wednesday. I have very short videos over there as well. And I also do live streams over there on YouTube as well. Been doing a little bit more live streaming on Twitch, just because I feel like it's easier to get views on Twitch for live streaming than YouTube. But, it goes hand in hand with each one. So definitely go check out all those, and I will talk to you guys all later. Peace.